Hey, welcome to Fitzdog Radio. My guest today is Preacher Lawson. We'll get him on in just a minute, but first, let's talk. Let's talk, baby. I'm dressed up. I'm about to play a little golf. That's why I'm dressed like... you're not going to see a lot of guys in golf shirts and Comedy Mothership hats. That's an enigma. That's a paradox. That's a... I don't know what you call it. Actually, I think there's some golfers. I think there's some Joe Rogan golfers. Tape my special there. I'm doing the final edit this week. I've gone through about 4 waves of edits on the special. I feel really good about it. I feel really disgusted looking at myself doing stand-up over and over. So sick of those jokes. You won't be. They'll be fresh to you, but I've seen them so many times. And glad to put them behind me now and move on and talk really exclusively about Palestine and Israel. That's my next special, is just Palestine and Israel and childhood erectile dysfunction and third-term abortions. I'd like to talk a little bit about 9/11. You know, just stick to the light stuff. And then I go to the fucking pharmacy this morning, and don't you love this? You get to the counter, they ring up your stuff, and then in front of the entire line, the lady goes, Do you want to donate $1 for the Juvenile Cancer Foundation? Are you kidding me? Are you trying to humiliate me in front of this line? Because first of all, fuck you. I'm not giving you $1. Because here's how it works. Walgreens gets you to donate money into a big pool. And then they wait for a telethon, and they wait for their big annual meeting, and they make a check that's the size of a fucking flat screen TV, and they make it out to the Childhood Cancer Foundation, but it ain't their money. They're getting the write-off, the tax write-off, they're getting the glory, and they're hitting you in front of a line full of people that you don't want to look like a douchebag in front of. And I said, you know what? That's so weird. Because I'm collecting money for 9/11 widows who have parents from the Holocaust that have AIDS. Do you want to give $1 to that? Come on. You're working. You got a job. You're at Walgreens shaking people down. Just unapologetic. Now, actually, yeah, I'll give you $1 for that. And my son is transitioning. Can you give me $1 for my son's I'm sorry, my daughter. So it just seems like don't pull that shit. I'm tired of that. I don't know. Yeah, I'll give you $1. And do you want to donate to help out with this $165 prescription that I'm paying for to help my depression? My depression that's bought on by corporate America, needling me and humiliating me. Walgreens. Oh, Walgreens. Walgreens is no longer offering the Plan B, by the way. They announced that there'll be no more morning after pill at Walgreens. I think the morning after pill, are we really saying that life begins 6 hours after a one-night stand with a Coke dealer? Is that a baby we want in the world, or is that something we can just kind of blink and make go away like Bewitched? That's what we need. We need witches, abortion witches, that can just make babies go away. I'm not going to get an abortion. Anyway, St. Patrick's Day show this past Saturday night at the Improv. I want to thank all the people that came out. We sold out the show as we do every year. We had a great lineup. Harlan Williams, the Sklar brothers, Laura Keitlinger, Annie Letterman. Our good friend Mike Gibbons did a set. Adam Freeman hosted. Dennis Gubbins did a little sketch. I don't know. It was okay. Not great. Could have used an ending. We had the Irish soda bread contest with my friend Lauren Tisch, and she swears that it was fixed, and she thinks that she won. We gave the entire audience a piece of Irish soda bread. Me and Laureen made tons of loaves of Irish soda bread, and we had Irish music, the Pogues, we had decorations, and it was really fun. But she's calling foul. Last year she won. It's a $100 bet, and we brought 3 people on stage, and they voted, and she's saying that the voting, it's like she's Donald Trump. And she's got a lot of followers, and now I'm afraid they're going to storm my house because they don't believe that they think the election was fixed. You know, this is unbelievable. It's possible I fucked up. I don't know. I have ADD. They handed me 2 plates. They said, yours is the white plate. But then, I'm hosting the show. My mind gets scattered. If it happened, it was not intentional, but my ADD is so fucking bad lately. I am so distracted. Like when I'm at a party with people, I have to I'm literally tightening my muscles to pay attention to people that are talking at a party because there's so many distractions. There's other conversations. You hear your name come up in another conversation, and so you're staring at this person, but you're listening to that person, and then all of a sudden they laugh at something they said, so you laugh along with it, but then they look at you and they know because your laugh isn't really in sync with the joke that they told, and then by the end of the night, everybody thinks you're a phony. We did the St. Patrick's Day show is Saturday night, which was the 16th, but then actual St. Patrick's Day is the 17th, so we went on this really fun, my friend has a boat. I forget what it's called. It's like a Duncan, or I forget what it's called, but it's basically like a little pontoon boat. It's a flat bottom boat that's got, vinyl clear windows around it. And so it's like a little party. There was about a dozen of us on this boat. And we all took mushrooms, and then we cruised through the marina, which is the largest private marina in the country in terms of slips for boats. It just goes on forever, and there's like these crazy mega yachts, and it's just visual, and you're in the water. And I don't like boats, but I love going out on that boat. And my friend, one of my friends is turning 65 this week, and he went to Mexico this year to get his teeth fixed, and he got all new teeth put in, and now they're falling out one by one. And he's sitting in the back of the boat. He's got denture cream all over his lips, and his teeth are falling out. And so he's 65, and then we got this 27-year-old woman who is this really groovy. She's a little tatted up, and she's a lesbian, lives on the boardwalk in Venice Beach. But like that young, that young energy where she's open to anything. Like she's got one of those long skateboards. She's getting into surfing. She's living like overlooking the boardwalk, and just fun. I don't know. There's something about, you almost want to suck the marrow out of young people because they make you feel alive. I can't describe it. It's just like, I think it's important to hang out with young people as you get older. That's why when you're 65, don't move to an old folks home, because then, I think I talked about it last week, you just talk about aches and pains and operations and death, and that's where your mind is at. As opposed to going out on a boat with a bunch of young people. There's some other young people. I think everybody was getting up there. My friend, the boat owner, is a kid who he went to Princeton, and then he came out to L.A., and he kind of got into the Venice scene. I mean, the Venice scene is kind of interesting. People have this vision of just a bunch of homeless people living on the beach. It's not it. There's artists, there's creativity, there's music, there's, yoga on the beach and all that stuff. But it's gritty and also at the same time kind of progressive. I love it. And he got very into that world. And then he I think was having trouble getting a job. So he met this guy who was like 60 from the Middle East. And the guy brought him with him around the world, almost as like an assistant kind of thing. And the guy would get drunk. This guy's very good looking, the Princeton guy. And the guy would get drunk and he would hit on him and he would just say no. But it was a very weird relationship. It was almost like White Lotus with what's her name? And what is that woman's name? I love her. Anyway, it got bad. It got to where he was in Hawaii and he had to get rescued by two friends to get him away from this. Apparently this guy is like pretty powerful and maybe a little dangerous. We can't tell. So he owes him a lot of money, and now he's back and he's got this boat and we cruise around the marina in it. It's pretty fun. And then we got to but what's it called? Something shrimp. There's a shrimp restaurant on the water, and we get to the slip and we dock the boat and we go to get in and the gate is locked. You can't get through. So all 12 of us climb one by one over this crazy gate over the water. I think it's called Killer Shrimp. And we go up to the Killer Shrimp, and it's this enormous restaurant. It holds like hundreds of people, and literally 99% of the people are black. I don't know why. I wasn't expecting that, but this is a very popular restaurant with black culture for some reason. And the shrimp was amazing. A lot of fun. Anyway, I shouldn't be telling you all these details about my friend. I feel like I'm Truman Capote. Have you watched the Capote and His Swans or whatever that movie docuseries was? No, not that. It was a narrative series, but it was not bad. It dragged on a little bit. So my guest this week is an Irishman. He told me he's 13% Irish, and then he's about 67% black. Or is that 77? 87. His name is Preacher Lawson, and man, did I have a good time with him. I'd never met him before. I'd seen his stand-up. I liked him a lot. I brought him in, and what a treat. Really good dude. We had a fun talk. He's got a huge TikTok following, and he's clean, which I'm not used to these clean comedians, but he was on America's Got Talent, made it to the final round. He's been on a Black Lady sketch show. I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson, which you should watch that show if you've never seen it. Tonight Show with Fallon. Anyway, great dude. We had a fun time. If you want to come see me, by the way, I will be in Boca Raton, Florida at Meisner Park April 3rd, Tampa at Side Splitters April 4th through the 6th, Mamaroneck at the Emmeline Theater May 31st. Also, Pittsburgh coming up, and a bunch of dates I'm announcing soon. Go to Fitzdog.com to get your tickets. And now, please enjoy my chat with Preacher Lawson. Preacher Lawson, welcome to Fitzdog Radio.
Thank you so much.
Are you a big fan of the show?
Bro, it's my favorite show. It's my favorite show. I go Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and this one.
Really?
Yeah. I like Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince. Isn't it funny?
Yeah.
Will Smith's career.
Man, he could have been president. Isn't that crazy?
He could have been president.
He could have been
Dude,
president.
that's not an exaggeration.
I know. It's great.
Ronald Reagan became president.
He did, man. People loved him. So,
in 30 seconds.
I know.
And now you literally never see him.
I know. I see him. I follow him. I still follow. Did you unfollow him or did you never follow him?
I never followed him.
Okay. I still follow him.
What does he post?
I mean, the same stuff, but no one cares as much. But I'm not going to say no one cares as much because he's still massive. He's always been massive.
Yeah.
And he'll be fine. But he was like, it's so. I was just talking to a friend about it. They're like, I feel bad for Chris Rock. I was like, I feel bad for Will Smith, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he dropped so many levels, and Chris Rock went up. Well,
and Chris Rock did some martial arts shit on him because he didn't He didn't fight back.
Yeah,
he waited.
Yeah.
And then he got him into a slow choke out with that special a year later.
Yeah.
So he let it sit. He let people get behind. Because if Chris had come straight out and counterpunched, it would have been two guys that both did something to each other. But when Chris waited, then it just like solidified.
Yeah. I mean, let it simmer, let it cook.
Yeah.
I was very sad when that happened.
You ever slap somebody?
No, I don't think I've ever slapped anybody.
You ever punched somebody?
I've never punched anybody either. I punch people when I'm trained. I train MMA. That's the only time I punch. I've never punched anybody in like real life, but I've tackled.
You have?
I've tackled people.
Were they the aggressor and it was a
Well, I'm definitely
move?
Not the aggressor.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, I think if I think in school, I they got too close, I just tackled them.
Yeah.
Because I knew how to do that because I played football, but I didn't know how to punch people.
Right.
And I just don't think I should punch people.
It's so funny.
I punch walls.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. I feel like every man, you haven't punched a wall?
I've punched a wall.
Yeah, I punch walls. Yeah, I punch walls. I was in a rental car the other day, and I was hitting the rental car.
Yeah.
So, I'll do that.
Why, were you lost in L.A.?
No, I was going to a college gig and to do a show, and it was actually Penn State. And I didn't know there was 20 campuses. So I just put in Penn State, and it was 2 hours from the other campus I was supposed to be at. Yeah. And I was just like,
damn.
I was like, dang it, bro. But they still let me do the show. I still drove. They still waited. The whole crowd, it was packed, I was just 2 hours late.
That's the beauty of a college show. They got nowhere to go.
They have nothing to do. They were like, oh, we've been waiting for, forever for this. So, yeah.
Dude, those college, plus, you're making a big check. That's why you get mad. Those
college
that's shows.
I was mad.
I used to do a lot of those. When I was a young man, when I was your age, I was hitting those college shows.
Yeah. You don't do them anymore? Because Rock said he doesn't like doing them.
Come on, look at me. They don't want to hear me talk about my not have. You know what my new joke is? That I can't believe I'm having sex with a 57-year-old woman, my wife.
Yeah, I mean,
Like if you told me when I was 18 that I was going to fuck a 57-year-old, I would have blown my head off.
I mean, that's a little, I mean.
But I want to. I think she's sexy as hell. I'd love
awesome.
to.
I think my wife is sexy too.
And you're 31. How old is she?
Well, I'm 33 today, actually.
Oh, congratulations. Happy birthday, man.
Today's my birthday. Yeah.
Last time was your birthday, you got pulled over by a cop. I think you were 19 then, right?
Yeah. How do you know that? That's crazy.
That's your special.
That's
it was
cool.
Great.
I thought you were talking about my first.
No, I just read in the special you talked about getting pulled over on your birthday, and you said on the inside I was going, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
And on the outside I was going, it's my birthday. That was very funny.
My man.
Yeah.
That's a true story.
Yeah.
I was just telling a friend that who happened to be a comedian, and he's like, bro, you got to say it on stage. I was like, I don't think that's funny. I just think it's funny like when we're conversing. He's like, you got to say it. And then I did it. It's like one of my, favorite bits. So, but,
well, it's great because when a cop is around, there really is that part of you as a man that's being challenged by not just a man, but by authority in general. And it seems like you were raised, you're a little bit more of a beta than an alpha. That's not an insult, is it?
No, I mean, I feel like I'm a middle. I'm definitely.
Well, beta's a middle because then there's omega is a total like pushover.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you're not like when you said you're never the aggressor in a fight.
I'm never
you
never
don't
like,
curse.
I do cuss.
You love your mom.
I do cuss. I started cussing in 2020.
Really?
Yeah. I was like testing it in the house.
Was it the COVID?
It was.
Well,
I was stuck in the house. When you're stuck in the house, you just do. I was literally in my house just testing it out.
How'd it feel?
It felt so stupid.
It did.
It felt so stupid. So I only cuss around, like my brother and some friends. But I mean, and it's like if I'm dating someone, but I don't really.
If you're dating somebody.
But I didn't cuss for years, so it's just weird,
Well, during sex,
I'll just do it. Yeah, I can't be like, you like this S? You like my pee in your pee? That's I can't bleep. I can't, censor myself then.
Yeah.
Say my mother effing name. No, but so I do cuss, but I just don't, But yeah, I guess I am. I'm definitely not.
You're definitely not.
I'm definitely not. Yeah, I'm not. Like,
well, you're an alpha in the sense that like when you walked in the door, we never met before.
No.
Right?
Oh yeah, we have. It's just been briefing like through the improv and just
Like I know you did Kill Tony a lot. I might have met you on a Kill Tony at some point. But you walk in and like you're a very intimidating presence.
Oh really?
How tall are you?
I mean 6'4" on Tinder, but I think regular I'm like, I think 5'11". You know.
Are you 5'11"?
Yeah, I'm 5'11". These
You got
probably
your
the shoes.
boots, you have
Probably
the
the
heels,
shoes.
and
I've
then
been doing
your
yoga,
rips.
man. I've been doing yoga.
Really?
And I'm about 206 right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you noticed.
206.
I don't know.
Damn.
You know, I could barely fit in this jacket. I'm like, how am I gonna put it off? The boy Jack. They
You
sewed
buy
it
a
on me.
smaller size. Don't
No,
you?
yeah.
On
I
purpose.
didn't even buy this. A friend of mine, but I don't know how to shop. Anytime
Yeah.
I look good in the outfit, that means I'm dating somebody.
Yeah,
That's what that means, bro.
right.
I always look. Sweatpants. That's my
Yeah.
jam.
Yeah.
Sweat jam. You know, a T-shirt that I
Yeah.
got for free.
Yeah.
You know, and the same jacket. If you
No,
look,
on any given day, my T-shirt and hoodie have the name of a comedy club on it.
yeah,
That's my word. That's
yeah.
my design. The Comedy Works in Denver is my design.
Yeah. If it's an improv or it's just like it's just a free T-shirt.
Yep.
I'm just like I can't be naked because that's illegal.
Yeah.
So I just do whatever I can do. But
Right.
Yeah.
So what made you such a gentle, polite, decent person?
I feel like most people are gentle and polite.
No, they're not. Most people are angry and they curse a lot. And
Man, that's not. You've been in LA too long. Most
No,
people.
I'm from New York.
Are you from New York?
Maybe that's part
That's
of
the
problem.
reason. Yeah, that's it. You know, I was in Philly 2 days ago, and Philly people are like what people think New York people are like.
Yes, that's very true.
Bro, they're so
Right.
mean, bro.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They are mean. They're aggressive.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's just like, it's wild. I was like, this is what they think New York is like.
Yeah.
And New York is.
We're sports fans in the country, Philly.
Yeah.
But did you ever live in New York?
Yeah, I lived in New York for about a year.
You did.
Yeah.
You didn't stay.
No, I never stay anywhere. I never stay anywhere.
Yeah.
Like in 2020, I left LA, and which was I was living in this apartment for about 2 years, and that was the longest I've ever lived in any apartment.
Really?
Any apartment, any house, any.
So you travel light.
Yeah, I'm always traveling. So
Yeah.
I left to Atlanta, and I was there for like 6 months, and I was in Vegas about 8, and then I went to New York about a year, and I came back here, and I've been here about 8 months. But
Damn. How's your wife feel about that?
oh, she doesn't exist.
Oh, you don't have a wife?
No.
Oh, you're fucking around.
Yeah, you said something about a wife, and I felt left out. So I was like, yeah, my wife.
all right.
I don't know.
You don't want a wife. Why would
No,
a guy like you?
I don't want a
right
wife
now?
or a girlfriend.
No,
or kids.
That's like when you meet somebody and their parents are super wealthy and they get a job. It's like you don't need that shit. Enjoy your life.
I mean, eventually, right? Eventually, when
Yeah.
I don't know when. I don't think I plan on it. You didn't plan on it. You just met her.
I had no intention of getting married. My parents, God bless them, were not really suited for parenting, and my model was sort of like, I got the sense they weren't that into it.
Oh, really?
And so
Are they still together? Or?
No, my dad's dead.
Oh, okay.
He's been dead for 32 years. He
Oh,
died
dang.
young. Yeah.
Dang, I'm sorry.
I think the cutoff point for I'm sorry is like, what is the cutoff point on I'm sorry?
I don't know. I've never had
It's not 32 years.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
you're so fucking polite.
God,
Who would say I'm sorry after 32 years?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that feels, man.
I think it's a 5-year window.
It's 5 years?
Yeah.
5 years.
5 years, that's it. And then you just nod. You just nod. You take it in, you let them feel heard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
If they want to elaborate,
Yeah.
which they usually do. Everybody wants to tell you about their dead parent, how they died, how they were by the bedside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 5 years.
5 years. That's about
I feel
right.
like I'm going to be on a date and this girl's going to tell me her dad or mom died. And she was like, yeah, 6 years ago. And I'm like, she's just going to be.
No, don't do that.
He didn't even care about her dying. I told her I was holding her and there was blood everywhere. He just shook his head. She said 6 years.
Hey,
That's the
if
cutoff
you're not
point.
over it now, I don't know about this relationship. How are you going to get over me?
Oh, man, that's hilarious.
Yeah. No, my dad died, and it sucked because are you both your parents around?
No, my dad might be. I never
Yeah.
met him, so
Yeah.
yeah.
And mom obviously is because she just introduced you on your special.
You know what's funny? She did introduce me on my special, and I was on a plane. I was on a plane yesterday, and I was talking to this lady. I love talking to old people. She was like,
Yeah.
she's like 80. She was super. She was just like, she does yoga like every day. She looks great, and I told her I didn't know, I didn't know my dad or whatever. She goes, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I never met him. That's like, that's like if someone's like, I'm my only child, and they're like, I don't have any siblings. They're like, I'm sorry. It's like, they don't even know what it's like. I have no idea. I mean, I see other people. I'm like, that's got to be nice to have more money in the house. But that's all I think about. I'm not like, I don't know what I'm missing out on.
Let me ask you something, and be serious about this.
Okay.
Is Father's Day, has that always been like a sad day? When you
No.
see other kids are playing catch with their dad, and
I never
they
even
got
see
arts
that.
and crafts, and they're
I
getting
see it on
waffles.
movies.
You don't see it in real life?
No, I don't see people playing.
Still, you hear it in the news, and people talk about Happy Father's Day, and do you just put your head down and go?
No, because when I was growing up, my mom was like, I'm your dad. And I'm like, okay.
Oh.
So we would celebrate my mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for Father's Day. She's like, I'm the mom and the dad, so.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, so for Father's Day, we would just give my mom gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I never felt like, when I was younger, I used to want a dad really bad. I used to always want a dad.
Right.
And then that stopped around 31. I'm 33. So about 2 years I've been getting, no, I'm joking. But because he didn't laugh with me. All right. So.
You know what? It's a bad interview. I was thinking about, I wanted to ask you about moving so much because I read in your bio that you moved 20 times before you were 10 years old or something?
Yeah, I just moved a lot. I went to 3 different schools almost every year.
And this was Memphis, this was Florida.
Yeah, I didn't ever went to school in Florida, but when I was born in Portland, Oregon, and I moved to Memphis when I was 9. But even before I moved to Memphis, I was through Oregon, through Texas, back to Oregon.
Yeah.
Then I was in Memphis, and I was back in Oregon. Then I was in Bristol, Tennessee. Then I was, I moved a lot. The first time I ever went to a school, a full year, I was in 8th grade, and I was in a different state. But,
dude, if you want to talk about building a comedian, take a kid and move around 20 times because every time you go somewhere new, you got to reintroduce yourself to everybody.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I was always a cool kid for 3 days.
And then they figured it out?
They figured it out. They're like, man, this dude's lame, bro. But for 3 days, if you're quiet too.
Yeah, right.
I used to be, it's crazy because when you're quiet, there's this mystique about you. They don't know. They're like, man, maybe, he's quiet. He's probably but then sometimes I would open my mouth and they'd be like, oh, bro, you don't know how to act.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but you can't commit to the quiet guy for the whole time. Eventually you got to talk.
I know. Especially when they ask you to read in front of the class. I used to hate that. I'm like, oh, no.
Right.
But.
I know that is a hard one. I can remember, or the worst is you write an essay and they make you read the essay in front of the class.
Oh my gosh, and they know you stole it off the internet. Oh, you didn't?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't have that. Don't fucking shame me.
I wasn't shaming you.
No,
I've
been around. There's experience that comes with this as well.
But they're gonna be like, oh, you got it from that book. They would probably say that.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, the scroll. You got it off this.
You stole that from the pigeon? We already know. Now
But by the way, you mentioned in your special that you're the only black comic from Oregon. Ron Funches.
He's from Seattle.
No.
Or
Oregon.
Chicago.
He was in Chicago till he was about 12.
Yeah.
And then he moved to Oregon.
He moved to Oregon? I thought he moved from Chicago to Oregon. I met him
from Chicago to Oregon. What did I just say?
You said that, but I thought.
Roll back the tape.
No, but I'm saying I thought that he moved from Chicago as a comedian to Portland.
No, when he was 13.
Oh, he's from Portland?
I don't know if it was Portland, somewhere in Oregon.
Oh, yeah. I met him when I moved to Oregon when I was 19.
Ron Funches is one of the most underrated comics in the country.
Great.
He's great. So fucking, and he takes the mic. And he puts it down by his belt buckle. And he'll go on after some high-energy act at the Comedy Store who's killing.
Yeah.
And it takes a minute, but he doesn't buckle.
Yeah.
He does it. He walks out. He walks back and forth. He takes some pauses. And after 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, they're coming to him.
Yeah.
It's just,
he's great.
It's I love when comics, I don't do that. I love when comics can do that.
Yeah. I remember when I was in Oregon, it was him and Ian Carmel.
Ian Carmel.
Yeah, they were they just kind of knew. They're like, okay, these are the guys that are gonna blow up. So when he started blowing up, it was kind of it was really cool,
Yeah.
But I was it's weird because last night I was doing a show. I did a show at I was at Laugh Factory, and everybody was slaughtering.
Yeah,
they were like crushing.
Yeah, you can't gauge if you're a good comedian at the Laugh Factory. Everybody.
Yeah. And I was like, hey guys, I just want to let you know I'm not gonna be that funny.
Uh-huh.
All right, so let's, I was trying to reset the room.
Yeah.
But they didn't like when I said that.
Oh, really?
They didn't like it. Usually they're like, okay, all right,
Yeah.
Because I seen that happen. Like I seen two comedians. I seen another guy who got canceled, but he was crushing. He slaughtered. Then another guy.
That's the Club of Cancellation.
It was a Comedy Store. Yeah, it was a Comedy Store.
It's like the Island of Misfit Toys. No, the Laugh Factory.
The Laugh Factory?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah. Check your good standing at the door and come on in.
I'm like thinking of the people that go, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of people. Yeah.
Right.
Well, but I seen the person that got canceled, and then it's actually funny because the person that went after them got canceled too. But they reset the room like that. That's where I got it from. They were like, hey, I need you to calm down. I'm not gonna be that funny.
Yeah.
And then they slaughtered. They lied. They were like, I got some new material, and they just went up and just. It was crazy.
I know there's one guy that's famous for that. He'll even pull out a piece of paper out of his back pocket and then do shit you've been seeing him do for 10 years. But it gives the audience that extra. They're like, he's doing something new.
Yeah.
And then did you say you went to the store last night?
No. Oh. I was at Laugh Factory.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't go to the store. I don't really go. I guess sometimes I go to the store. Improv. Yeah.
Improv.
I'm not on the wall. That'd be cool though. You're on the wall.
Yeah.
That's awesome. When did you get on the wall?
Well, there was this guy that used to run the store back in the cocaine and porn star days, like Kinnison and all that. And I used to come in there, and there was always like a Wayne brother or Carlos Mencia doing like an hour. They would drop in, not even on the schedule.
Yeah.
They drop in into an hour, and I was like, I'm not gonna fuck with this place because I got other spots to do. I'm doing the factory and so I waited till this guy Adam Egget came in, and that was probably 10 years ago. And Egget was a guy who I knew, and so he brought me in, and then it became not my favorite club, but I probably do more spots there a week than any place else. And it is a place. I'll mention you to Emily, the booker, because she should see you right away. You're a killer.
That'd be great, man. I would love to be at the Comedy Store. You're
gonna have to curse though.
I'll cuss. Which word? I'll say it right now. Yeah, which word you want me to say in this mother father? No. I couldn't even say that. I remember like shut up was a cuss word growing up. It's crazy.
Shut up?
Shut up was a cuss word.
Yeah.
Shut up don't go up, but prices do. That's what we were saying. Every time someone said shut up.
Oh. Did you go to church a lot as a kid?
Yeah, I went to church like 8 days a week.
Really? What branch of the company were you
in? Christian. I don't know. It was just like
Baptist?
Yeah, just all of them. Anyone that was available, we went. Anyone that was available, went to Sundays, Wednesdays.
Do you feel like you had a relationship with Jesus or God? Like you can talk?
Yeah, I still do, but I wait till like I need something.
That's not good.
Yeah, probably not.
You don't want to be that friend.
I'm that friend. I'm that friend. I know you ain't heard from me in a minute. But please, please. I know I don't ask for much, but if you can make the results come back negative. That's me right there.
Yeah, if you could just get her period. Can you send a period down to Los Angeles, please, this week?
And I'm gonna hit you back next week. Next week come around, I don't call.
Just to say hi. I'm just gonna check in next week. Because nobody asks about you. Nobody ever asks about you. No, because I grew up Catholic, and I had a very deep, like, conversational relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, we had cool priests growing up, so my relationship wasn't like he was a deity and I was down here. It was really like Jesus was this amazing John Lennon kind of guy who just said beautiful things and represented openness and love, and I just really connected with that.
That's awesome.
I think it's still there. It's kind of morphed into like a vague higher power kind of thing to me more than, the actual like manifestation of the robes. And
energy,
all that.
Just good energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just going to be like, I'm just going to be a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I feel like most people are good people. I really believe that. I think most people are good people. I think everybody's trying
their hardest.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you ever meet someone that's like, nah, most people aren't. I'm like, bro, I think effort, is good. You know?
Effort is all it is because we're all born with a different hand, you know? Like some people, Jesus Christ, you know, they're abused as kids or they have extreme, you know, there's people that have these personality disorders, bipolar or borderline personality. If you got borderline personality, you are just categorically not going to connect with people as friends, and you're going to be annoying. And so God bless you for just holding down a job.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe getting a relationship that you stay in. You're going to be an asshole in traffic. You're going to cut you whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to judge it. That's why one of the things about the church that bothered me was these black and white rules about going to heaven and hell.
Yeah.
Because Catholicism is fire and brimstone or angels.
Yeah.
There was no middle ground. You know, you had purgatory, but you know, purgatory was still hell.
Yeah.
It was just a timeshare. It was a sublet. And then I started to think about like, well, why should all people have to live by these 10 commandments? There should be like a sliding scale depending on how you started out, you know?
Yeah. I always thought like, I don't know if you what about good people? Someone's like a good person and they try and they give effort and maybe they don't believe.
And they don't believe,
Yeah. So it's like they go to hell. That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
You know? They're just a good people because there's some people that believe that aren't that, you know.
Right.
I don't know. I just thought it was, I don't know. But
I feel like that when I go to Costco. It's like, all right, I didn't get the membership, but I'm a good shopper. I'm going to spend a lot of money here.
You only get discounts when you have the...
You only get in without the card. Well, you can get in. Here's the beauty of Costco. They let you in without a card, but when you try to check out, they won't let you unless you have the card. So you can waste an hour filling up your cart and then go like, oh, I can't.
Is it an hour waste if they get free samples?
No, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my jam.
Right.
I used to love You ever go into Costco and they don't have samples? You're like, what are you guys doing?
No, it's built into the price.
Yeah.
I'm paying for these samples. I know you're not giving them
I'm going to be
free.
a Karen. Hey.
Right.
You know, just make a call, complain.
Yeah, and then, you know, Costco's pretty sweet for gas because, I don't know, wherever you've lived, the gas was not as expensive as it is in L.A. It's over $5 a gallon right now.
Yeah, I have an electric car.
Do you really?
Yeah, I don't.
What kind of car is it?
It's a Tesla.
Look at you.
I mean, they're not
Doing
that.
all right
It's
for
not.
yourself.
That's not. If it was years ago, then it would make sense. But Teslas are super affordable.
Is it the 3?
It's Model S.
It's the Model S. Look at you. Doing your world tour.
I don't have kids.
No wife, no kids.
Yeah, that's what it is. No
Friends
wife,
buying you your clothes. You got no overhead, man.
I really don't, man. I'm like, I have nothing that I have. Like, you know, I retired my mom, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's nice.
But
what does that mean?
That she doesn't have to work anymore.
So you pay for her rent.
Yeah, I just give her money. But yeah, I just gave her money, but then she doesn't like, my mom likes to do things.
Of course.
So she's like super helpful. She comes on the road with me. She sells my merchandise. And she just
is
like
good in front of a mic.
She get
you seen it? In front of people?
Yeah, she just us as kids, you know, she used to make fun of us.
But she was never like a public speaker in any way.
She was a singer. Yeah, so she's been in front of the mic, yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, she was a singer. She used to be she was a gospel singer. Damn. Yeah. She like wrote songs. She has like a CD.
Really?
Yeah. Her ringtone is a song that, you know, her ringtone's one of my favorite songs that she sang.
Who's the artist?
It's her.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Can we hear it?
I mean,
oh, sure. No, it's her ringtone. It's when her phone rings.
No, it's when my phone. Siri, text mom to call me. Yeah, so
she's gonna call you, and then
she's gonna call me. Then you hear the ringtone.
See these young kids with the technology. That would have taken me 20 minutes to figure out how to accomplish this. and when you're retiring your mom, she's got to call you back fast. That's the rule. Mom, here's the deal. I'm going to pay your rent, but I do these things called podcasts, and sometimes you're going to need to call me on the podcast.
Nah, she doesn't got to do anything. She's awesome.
Where does she live now?
She lives in Atlanta.
Oh, nice. I love Atlanta.
Yeah. Why do you like Atlanta?
Can
you hear it?
Turn it up a little more.
if I turn it up, it's gonna put on silent. I'm so glad that God put you in my life. All right, that's my dad
nice.
singing. Hey.
Somebody out here, it's your birthday. Somebody out here, it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
Okay, Mom. Thank you. I appreciate it.
it.
Okay, I didn't know you was gonna do that. But listen, that's my mom. I'm on a podcast. I just want them to hear your ringtone.
Oh.
You want to say hi?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Mom. How are you?
That's great.
I'm a little embarrassed, but I'm gonna get over it.
No, I was just telling Preacher how great you were opening up his special. You seem like you've spent a lot of time speaking in front of people.
Oh, I was a teacher.
Oh,
That
you didn't
was my
mention
time.
that.
Oh, my bad. I did a bad job. She taught for 30 years.
Yeah, that's a lot of. Yeah, did you ever get physical with one of the kids?
I wanted to, but that would have been my job.
He just asked if you beat up some kids. One time she tripped some kid that was rollerblading. Yeah, I'm snitching.
Why you gonna put me on
Listen,
blast,
she
man?
tripped the kid because she hated the way they rollerblade. That's assault. Like, that kid doesn't know us, but I mean,
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, I'll talk to you later.
All right, man.
All right, love you, bye.
No, I love Atlanta. Well, I have good friends there, so I've been going there since the '96 Olympics was the first time I went to
Put it
Atlanta.
on silent.
I like
96 Olympics.
they got beautiful parks. They got great clubs. The diversity is unlike any city in the country.
Yeah, the only thing I like about Atlanta.
Yeah.
Is that there's more black people.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what it feels like to walk around and be white in America.
Yeah.
I was like, there's so many black people.
Right.
So I thought it was pretty cool, to see someone that looks like me.
And at every level, because
Yeah.
you've got Tyler Perry and you've got a lot of black-owned businesses. So
Yeah.
I stayed at the Four Seasons last time I was there.
Yeah.
All the other guests were black.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't see that at a lot of Four
Yeah,
Seasons.
you don't see it. So I thought it's awesome. It's like it's the B Hollywood.
Yes.
It's Hollywood of the South.
Yeah.
I heard like Nashville was the Hollywood of the South.
Nashville is, well, I was just in Nashville. I went there to see a concert.
What'd you see?
Jason Isbell. He's a country singer.
Oh, okay.
I'm not into country, but this guy is kind of special.
Oh, okay, cool.
And the Ryman Auditorium, which they call the church because it used to be a church, and it was the original Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah.
You've never heard sound like this. I bet your mom knows about it. You've never heard sound like this. It's like wooden ceilings. You sit in pews. It's a church.
Yeah.
And but the city is filled with bachelorette parties.
Oh, okay.
It's become the hot spot for bachelorette parties.
Really?
So
Nashville?
You're downtown, and they got those, those
perfect.
carts where everybody bicycles,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
have a
yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe in multi-round ammunition type guns. I think they're bad for the most part.
Yeah.
But there are exceptions.
Oh my gosh. That's an exception.
You don't have to even lead them by that much because they're not going that fast. Have you been to Nashville?
Yeah, I've been to every I think major city.
What do you do? The what's the club in Nashville?
Yeah, I know.
Zanies?
Zanies.
Yeah.
Zanies. Yeah, I've done Zanies a bunch of times. That's the only club there, right?
I think so. I was supposed to do it once, and I canceled at the last minute, and they never forgave me.
Oh, they did.
And I'm so bummed because I love the city. I hear amazing things about the club.
Yeah,
and I just wish they'd forgive me.
Yeah, I can't imagine them not forgiving you.
Right?
But yeah, things happen,
Well, there's so many comics. It's easy for
Yeah.
them to go like, well, we don't need anyone, really. There's
Yeah.
going to be a million comics pitched to me every week.
Yeah. What's your favorite club? I was at my least favorite club this weekend.
What's that?
I'm not gonna say. I'll tell you off camera. But
Was it in Florida?
No, it wasn't in Florida.
Okay.
It wasn't in Florida.
Because a lot of comics don't like Florida. But
I love Florida actually.
I got a handful that are my favorites. I like San Francisco Punchline, Denver Comedy Works, Helium in Philly, The Store, The Improv, Cellar in New York. Those are probably my favorites. Yeah. What are
Nice.
yours?
Yeah, I mean all the ones you named. Also, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Really?
Excuse me. Sorry, definitely not that one. It was Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh yeah. Charlie Goodnights.
Yeah, Good Nights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a fun club.
That's a really fun one. They laugh pretty. That one and Rochester, New York is like probably my favorite.
No shit.
Rochester is probably
What's
my favorite.
the club?
It's comedy at the Carlson.
Yeah, I did that. It's called the Kevin Meaney Room. The club
Meaney
itself.
Room.
Yeah, Kevin Meaney's his comic that passed away, and they named the room after him.
Okay.
But I'm forgetting Portland Helium is also.
Oh yeah.
That's a
Portland Helium is like, oh my
killer.
gosh, that's the first time I ever got a stand ovation in the middle of my set.
Really?
It was crazy. Yeah, it was great.
Were they walking and standing up?
No, they did. They stood up and clapped in the middle of my set.
That's
It's never happened
amazing.
again.
Yeah.
I don't even get stand ovations after my set.
Right.
But
That's like a woman having an orgasm halfway through sex, and then you keep going. You know? And you're like, I don't even have to close strong now.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get off stage. I think I'm good now. You got it, right?
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, but it's going to be good for you to be in LA because obviously, you know, you have great energy. I think it translates to the camera really well. You haven't done a ton of acting yet, have you?
No, I've done some acting. I mean, not a ton. You know, I've been in you know, some sitcoms. And some,
Oh yeah? What sitcoms are you in?
I was on Mr. Mayor for 5 seconds, and I did in 2020. I was on a sitcom called Connecting, and did you watch it? Exactly. That's why
Nobody was connecting to that one.
Nobody connected to that, and you know, I just did a couple. Hey, you know, I was on Think You Should Leave, you know, for a second. So.
Oh, I love that show.
Oh, I love it too.
Yeah.
Man. It's so funny.
My wife hates it because we have opposite tastes in comedy.
Man.
Mine is good and hers is bad.
You know what's funny? When people don't like it, I'm like, I get it. I get why you don't like it. But that's why I love it. It's so stupid.
Yeah. I like things that not everybody likes. It makes it funnier to me that they're not trying to please everybody.
Yeah, they're
not.
not.
The pilot episode is my favorite sketch in it. He's sitting in a coffee shop having a job interview, and he gets the job. The guy's like, you got it. And then he's like, good to see you. Okay, we'll talk soon. And then he gets to the door, and he goes to push it, and the guy goes, no, I think you pull it. And he goes, no, you push it. And then he pushes it again, and he goes, no, I think you pull it. I think I know you push it. And anyway, I'm not even going to tell you the ending. Just keep watching it.
Yeah, that was so funny.
So funny.
I like the one where he does he wanted to have a lunch, but they had a meeting. So he had a hot dog. You know that. So he's like eating a hot dog. They're like, are you eating a hot dog? He's like, huh? Because I've done that before. I'm like, you're trying to be slick. You trying to cop.
Oh, yeah, or you're on a phone call and you're trying to eat a meal. Yeah.
You ever like use the bathroom on the phone? You forget to mute, like you thought you mute.
Oh yeah.
And then you you let it out.
Yeah.
And you look at your phone and just say mute. You're like,
all right.
They're like, you on the toilet? You're like, what?
Why would I do
Why
that
would
to
I
you?
be on the toilet?
Yeah.
You gaslight them. Why would I? Well, come on, that's stupid. I would not do that.
I was doing this hidden camera show back in New York many years ago, and I had on glasses that had a camera embedded in them so you could see out. And so I'm doing bits on the street, and we're in Times Square, and then I was like, I got to go take a piss. So I go into the urinal, and I'm taking a piss, and over my earpiece they go, Greg, the entire booth is now looking at your penis.
Man.
Yeah. But they had some respect. I came out, there was some respect. Because I don't look like it, but I actually have a big penis.
But okay, that's great, man.
Yeah, I just wanted you to know that.
I wanted to know. So
Were you wondering?
I was.
Yeah.
I was wondering. That's the first thing. Because when I shook his hand, I was like, I wonder how his hand feels on his penis.
Yeah, right.
That's what I was thinking. So.
This feels like a hand that it keeps closing on me, like it. Yeah. Right. Who are your friends in comedy? Who are your good friends?
I don't have any friends in comedy. No, Drew Lynch. He's my friend in comedy. I have my brother, Ken Miller.
He's a comedian?
Ken Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's Ken? I don't know. Don't look at me like that.
Ken Miller, yeah, he's funny. He's amazing.
I know, but why would I? You looked at me like you were talking about, Richard Pryor or something. Is Ken Miller that big of a deal?
He's pretty massive.
How?
You don't know Ken Miller?
No, how would I know him from?
Are you trolling me right now?
I'm dead serious. I've never heard of Ken Miller.
He's been doing comedy for about, he hasn't been doing it he's been doing it about just under 20 years, but he's.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Ken Miller. Are you?
You're still looking at me like I'm crazy.
Because I thought you were joking. I thought you were joking.
You want me to Google him right now?
You don't know who Ken Miller is?
Does he have big credits?
Bro, he's I know Matt Rife is the biggest comedian probably right now.
Yeah.
But, he's got to be up there.
And that's your brother?
He's like my friend. He's like my brother,
Ken Miller.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're joking. He's joking. You're joking. Everybody know Ken Miller.
I thought I knew everybody. I thought I knew everybody.
You do know everybody. That's how I know you're joking.
Yeah. No.
You don't know Ken Miller?
No. Black guy?
Yeah. See? Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
And it's not even a black name.
He is black.
Yeah,
I know it's not a black name. There's actually a doctor that's named Ken Miller.
Yeah.
He's a doctor? Is he a doctor or?
I can't wait to check out this guy Ken Miller now.
Yeah, as soon as you pop up,
you never heard of Kevin Meaney. Kevin Meaney was.
I know Kevin Meaney.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When did you say Kevin Meaney?
I said that was the name of the room up in Rochester.
Oh, that's
The
probably
Kevin
where I heard
Meaney
of
room.
it just now
Yeah.
when you said Kevin Meaney.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I never heard of him till now.
Okay. Ken Miller.
Yeah. Ken Miller is
You think you got him on my podcast?
Yes.
All right, thanks for coming on. I immediately start texting Ken Miller.
Hey, Ken, hey. I'm going to be like, hey, Ken, he didn't know who you were. No.
So what's the plan? You going to stay in L.A. for a while, or are you just going to keep going like a Rolling Stone?
I don't know what I'm going to be doing, I don't know where I'm at right now, to be honest. But,
where are you living in L.A.?
I live in Studio City. I love L.A.
That's for transient people.
Transgender people?
Transients.
I was like, I do see it.
There are a lot of transgender people, though.
Yeah, there are a lot of transgender.
It's amazing.
I'm not transgender.
Because that means you got to have two outfits. You
do.
got to travel light, and yet you got to have a dress and some sensible slacks. Transgender
That's what I thought you said.
People. No, Studio City isn't a neighborhood. It's like I don't know, commerce. It's not warm neighborhoody, is it?
Oh, it feels like it in more comparison to where I used to live in Culver City. That was kind of neighborhood.
Yeah, that's neighborhoody. Yeah. Have you met neighbors in
Yeah, my neighbors come to my shows and.
No shit.
Yeah, they're
wow,
they're
you're
regular.
making it work.
Yeah. I think you should. Anytime you move into some place, you got to be cool with the neighbors.
I'm the same way.
Just so they can look out for you.
Right.
But then you got to look out for them.
Yeah, but that's nice.
It is nice.
Yeah. Especially when you like old people. You got old neighbors?
I don't have old neighbors.
No.
They're my age, and then there's I guess some a little bit older and some a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but pretty much I know my neighbors. They're great. They're great.
Let's talk about your special.
Yeah.
That's kind of transitions I make in my podcast.
Yeah, that's great.
Just we're talking about neighbors, and it's just stalling out. I don't blame you. It's not a great question.
Yeah, it's all good.
It could be a great question. I mean, it could be you could have a Kramer type neighbor you could have rolled out a bunch of stories, but
what's he doing?
Kramer is probably working the Laugh Factory. He's closing the show. He's the original.
Oh,
He's
man.
the original canceled.
Oh, man.
So your special is going on YouTube, and it's coming out. It came out last week. By the time this airs, it will have been out for a few days.
Oh, nice.
It looks amazing. Where did you shoot it?
Thank you. I shot it at Colony Theater in Burbank.
Why Burbank?
Because that was the closest to me. We didn't really think this through.
Okay.
Yeah, the outfit I got that day. I mean, I'm not, this is all. I just wanted. I was looking at places, and that looked really cool. We all decided on that, and I was like, "That's close to my house."
Yeah.
Not my house. I wasn't living in LA at the time, actually, but this is. I was like, "That's where I'm at. I'm in LA," And
I like the set design.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
nice.
the directing. Really good editing.
yeah,
It's
I'm proud of
beautiful.
it. Thank you. I
Spent
appreciate
some
it.
money on it, huh?
I did. I spent. That's the most money I spent on anything, I think,
Yeah.
in my life.
That's an investment in yourself.
Yeah. I think it's, but yeah, it's definitely an investment in myself, and I think I'm just really proud of it. I think it's funny. You know, I mean, I think I kind of, I don't know how you feel about your stuff, but I kind of hate it because I think I've been looking at
Hate it.
Yeah.
That's why I
Yeah.
just shot a special a few months ago, and I said to the guy, I'm going to give you notes immediately because I want to turn this thing around really fast and get it out. He goes, okay. Okay. He goes, you know how many comics tell me that? And then it takes months to do. I go, that's not going to be me.
Yeah.
It's been months.
Yeah.
I can't look at myself. I
know.
can't hear those jokes again.
I just hate it. I just hate looking at it. But I am proud. I do think it's, because people will be like, why should I watch it if it's, you hate it?
No,
But
I'm telling people that it's great.
yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
Which it probably is.
I'm talking about yours.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you think my special is great?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate you watching. That's awesome.
Right. I mean, it's no Ken. What's
Miller.
his name? It's no
I can't
Ken
believe you don't know
Miller.
who Ken Miller is, bro. He is like massive.
Can't wait to see it. Massive doesn't always mean good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Is he good?
No, he's great.
Yeah.
He's great. But I mean, he's like he's just like well respected. People know him.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? He's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, but that massive doesn't mean good. So
So you're special. Did you try to sell it to Netflix?
yeah, I tried to sell it to Netflix and HBO. A bunch of people. Some people said no. Some people didn't reply fast enough.
Yeah.
And then we were just kind of like, because we already had an idea we were going to release around this time.
Yeah.
And but yeah, man, this will be my second special. My first one's on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
It dropped through BET Plus, and then it was on there for like a year. Then it was on
ET Plus is
BET
getting
Plus.
big because of Ms. Pat's show.
Yeah, Miss Pat's doing really good.
She brought a lot of people to the channel.
She did. So I was the first special on there, and then so we put it on YouTube, which is great because even my special on Amazon, people from other countries can't watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So YouTube, everyone can watch it, and that'd be great, man. I just want to get it out there.
Get it out
I'm just
there.
tired of doing
Chop
the
it up.
jokes.
I know you got a big like TikTok presence.
Yeah.
And, I guess you got to feed that beast. You got to keep putting material on
just
there.
for 6 more months until they drop it.
You think that's going to happen?
For sure. They said they're gonna cancel it unless someone from the U.S. buys it, and they're not gonna sell it to anyone from the U.S. Why would they do that?
So it's going to get canceled. It's going to end up at the Laugh Factory. That's the only place you're going to be able to watch TikTok.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if there's gonna be a way you can have the app on your phone.
I'm sure.
Right?
I mean, all that content can't just disappear. Although it kind of did with MySpace. That was before your time, but
Yeah. No, it wasn't. I had MySpace.
You did?
Yeah. I remember MySpace.
MySpace was the shit.
I know.
Because you could put your tour dates up and it would do location services so that it would hit Minnesota. If you're going to Minnesota, it would hit all your followers in Minnesota hard with your dates.
Wow, yeah. Now you got to pay for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to pay for that now.
You do that? You pay for it? Facebook
Yeah,
posts?
yeah, and it works.
Are there other platforms that you boost on or just Facebook?
I don't know. I actually got a social media company.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I'm trying to stay off social media.
How's that company working out for you?
They're great. I think they're fine. I think most companies are fine.
Yeah.
They do a really good job.
They can only do as good as you do in terms
Yeah.
of getting them new material.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't feel like, people, agents, managers, they get paid 10% because they do 10% of the work. So you can't
Right.
get super, upset. You got to go and work. So
Yeah, you got to do the work.
you got to do the work.
I mean, that's the thing about this business is you used to just have to be funny. Now you gotta have your shit together.
Yeah.
You got to get up early. You got to do some editing. You got to do some posting.
I know.
You got to do a podcast. You got to shoot a video. I mean, it's relentless.
How long you been doing this podcast?
14 years.
Word?
I'm one of the OG podcasts.
Really?
Yep.
14? That's crazy.
When I started, it was just me, Marin, Rogan, Jimmy Pardo, Chris Hardwick. That was it.
And then everyone copied you.
Copied us and
Everyone.
fucking shot right past me. Sat here like a drunk, just watching life go by.
That's crazy.
No, this is fun to do because first of all, I get to hang out with friends that I know that I love spending an hour with, and then I get to meet new people who like you. This is really great talking to you.
Thank you.
Getting to know you. Forced me to watch your special, which I probably wouldn't have seen.
I'm glad you watched it. I'm glad you liked it, man. I respect your comedy a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and also, especially as long as you've been doing comedy, it seems like you would hate watching comedy.
I just don't watch it if it doesn't speak to me pretty quickly, I just don't watch it. But I love when I see somebody new that's good. You know who I just saw?
I was going to ask you, who's someone new you like?
That kid Marcello on SNL.
Yeah, Marcello.
Marcello?
Yeah, Marcello.
He's fucking good. I just hung out with him and I watched him do a couple sets.
He's really good.
Brian Holtzman. You know Brian Holtzman?
Yeah.
He was a store comic and now he's out in Austin.
Oh, dope. Yeah.
He's really good. Who else is new and good? Rick Ingram. He was just on. I like Rick. But... You know, Fahim Anwar.
Yeah, he was at my show yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just filmed a special, so I think he's working on new material.
He's always doing new specials.
Yeah,
he's
crazy.
very prolific. Yeah.
He comes out with material pretty crazy. I was just listening to his special on Spotify.
Yeah.
It's one 2017.
Right.
It's very silly.
Yeah. He's silly.
Yeah, it's super silly. I love it.
It's good. I like silly. I don't think there's enough silly in comedy right now. There's a lot of like
serious. I'm gonna change your life, and here's a point I'm making.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of that. Which is fine. I think it's fine.
Fine, but not unless if you're not getting laughs, it's not fine.
Yeah. I think we're getting past that though, because I do remember that being like a little bit of era of people just like trying to say something prolific,
right?
And they're trying to make a point, and and they'd make a point, and people would clap, but I'm like, well, that's not really funny.
Yeah, yeah. I want to see that written down. Can you send me that on a piece of paper? Because I got to search for the funny in that one.
Yeah.
And then. You said you're 13% Irish, and this is the St. Patrick's Day show. This will come out on March 19th.
Nice.
So you found out so you took the Ancestry DNA test, or which one did you do? 21
I did 23andMe.
23andMe.
Yeah, I remember people talking about. They're like, I don't want take that test, and they get my DNA, and
right.
And I'm like, I don't care.
You don't have little kids that are going to show up in 5 years.
They're not my kids. Okay, they're not my kids. If I didn't make
no
them,
mistakes. You didn't do any. You haven't had any unprotected sex.
I don't have any kids. I don't have any kids. I don't have any scares. I don't have any. I'm not even doing anything right now.
Really?
I'll be back though.
Really?
Yeah. I caught up. I'm all right.
Damn.
But
good for you.
I don't need to. I feel like I treat sex like I treat, alcohol and like weed or something. Mm-hmm. I think it's just fun.
Yeah.
I think it's just fun.
But
I think it's a fun distraction.
Right.
Like I started drinking in 2020. I used to never drink. I used to drink once a year on my birthday. And in 2020, I got stuck in the house, and there was a bunch of alcohol that people had given me throughout the years.
Yeah.
And I just started drinking it all. And I was like, I'm gonna try out being an alcoholic. I just decided to try it out. I was like, I'll be an alcoholic for a year. I decided in my head, and then it turned to like a year and a half, and I was like, all right, this is
shit.
Yeah. And so I hadn't drank in a couple years, but I was gonna drink my birthday, my birthday's today, but I was gonna drink. Yesterday when I was celebrating my birthday, and then I went to the bartender and I was like, all right, because they was trying to buy me a drink, and he was like, nah. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, nah, you're not drinking. And I was like, all right, I'm just not gonna drink. So I decided I didn't drink.
So drunk on your birthday.
Yeah.
High on 420.
No, I'm not. No, not on. I don't. If I was.
Well, you should pick a day. If your birthday's your drunk day, then 420 should be your pot day.
But I'm not doing it.
And then sex on 9/11. Just one day of the year. Commit.
I was expecting Valentine's Day or something, man. This dude is wild. Oh,
You got to cheer up.
I mean, that's
it's a sad
crazy.
day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, it's not. It's like, remember when Patrice O'Neal was doing that joke? He's like, he was talking about 9/11. He's like, I gotta give it 10 years and it's a barbecue. you know, I'll give it 10 years.
Yeah.
And he's not even like wrong. Like there's kids that are drinking now.
Right.
That they're going to bars and they weren't even born when 9/11 happened. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
It happened 2001, right?
2001, and I remember Louis C.K. was the first guy I saw do a joke about it after it. You remember this joke?
Oh my gosh. No, how's it go? I remember
They
doing
say
it.
you can judge your humanity by how long you waited to masturbate after 9/11. I jerked off in between the first and second towers.
Oh
going down.
yeah. That dude he's amazing. I mean, I know he got in trouble for whatever the things.
Yeah.
I didn't read up what he was doing. I just heard of bad things. But I mean, I was watching his special at the Dolby Theater, and I was like, why don't people consider him the greatest comedian ever?
I think he is.
I was like, why don't people do that? And I was like, oh, because they got mad at him.
Yeah.
But I was like, this dude.
No, because when you talk about the greatest,
he's probably like, yeah.
I mean, his mind is
crazy.
so different than anybody else's. His joke structure is completely random. He doesn't do. Most people figure out a great joke structure, like Chris Rock, one of the best ever. Mm-hmm. But he does a kind of preacher thing. He sets up the premise.
Yeah, he repeats the premise.
Yeah. And does his, and like, you just kind of see how everybody works. You can't figure out how Louis does it.
Yeah. He even, I remember in a couple of his, a couple of bits he did, he started off with a similar premise.
Yeah,
I've heard before, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna do, and I'm like, whoa, that's not where I thought he was gonna go with that.
Right.
Like his closer. I mean, it was, I think.
And he also created this whole new structure where you give them a statement that is indefensible, that is so awful that you can't, and then by the end of the joke, you're going like, all right, I kind of see that. Like you talk like on SNL, he's like,
oh my god,
child molesters. You got to think like, it's the worst treatment any human being gets when they find out you're a child molester. People hate you. They beat you up. He goes, so it must be really
good. Yeah.
And then everybody goes,
it's gotta be bad for us. Bad for us. But for them, gotta be really good. The way he did that, I was like.
And by the end of the bit, you go, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I know. Because that's like, I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
He's brilliant.
Yeah. He's pretty good. So as far as being Irish, do you connect to that? Have you have any interest?
Man.
You have any interest in going to the old sod and sitting in a pub and drinking?
I was in Ireland. Last year. I did a tour. I was in Northern Ireland.
Oh no shit!
And I thought they were racist. I think they're just rude people.
No, they're not racist in Ireland.
Not racist?
No.
Not in Dublin. But Northern Ireland?
No, Northern Ireland actually was where Frederick Douglass, when he was doing his tour of the States, he went to Ireland and he said, this is my new home. And he was in Northern Ireland.
Really?
And Dublin. And he said they were the least racist people he'd ever met in his life.
But we're talking about Frederick Douglass going to Ireland in what time?
The 1860s.
Yeah, there was like slaves over there. And he was like, I don't have to be a slave here. Right. That's like low. You know what I mean?
Right. That's true. The bar is pretty low.
That's pretty low, man.
They're not making me work. I love these people.
Yeah. That's like going to McDonald's or something. It's like, this is the best food I've ever had. And it's like you're starving. It's like this is not that good. But but yeah.
Where did you perform in Northern Ireland?
I don't know the venue. I forgot the venues, but
it was like a tour somebody set up for you.
Yeah. I was what it was I just wanted to leave the country, so I was like, I want to leave the country, and so I was like, since I'm leaving the country, because y'all just set up a tour, and they did, and so I didn't get to experience much because I was traveling like every other day. I mean, we had like 21. We had something like that. Like it was 21 days, but it was like 18 shows or something like that.
Shit.
And places in Europe. Europe is so close together, which they talk about how lazy Americans are because we only speak like one language, but they speak like 2, 3, 4 languages. But there's right there, you know. Like if we don't have we don't have neighbors that speak French and
right.
Italian. And,
yeah.
we
have accents. That's
we
as far
have
along
accents.
as we've come.
Yeah, and even some accents, I'm like,
yeah.
What'd you say?
Yep.
But,
so you got some tour dates coming up. Let's talk about those for a minute. You got, Jesus Christ, Vegas, Boise, Spokane, Eugene, Boston, Nashua, Burlington, Royal Oak, Michigan, Kansas City, Hickory, North Carolina. Oh, that's going to be fun. If you want to get tickets, you're going to go to, is it preacherlawson.com?
Yeah, preacherlawson.com.
And also, before we go, I always like to do a thing called Fastballs with Fitz.
Okay, let's do it.
Have you ever saved somebody's life?
No.
That's why it's called fastball. Sometimes it's a ball.
I was like, that's saving anyone's life. And I'm like, man, because I thought about a few things. I was like, wow, what a horrible human being. I've had my life saved though.
You have?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
What do you mean a bunch of times?
Well, a bunch of times I almost died and then they saved me.
From what?
I remember one time I was like a kid and, we was in a water park and my mom had, I have 3 other siblings. I'm the youngest. And I have my brother and my sister, she's disabled. And then you have my middle brother and I. So
sorry.
Yeah. What? It's been
your sister.
It's been longer than 5 years.
Okay.
So, we all went down the slide. I was on my mom's lap, but they went by themselves. But we went directly afterwards. So I remember I fell in the water. My sister couldn't swim that well, so my mom she wouldn't saved my sister. And then I was sitting at the bottom of the pool and I was drowning. And I was like, I think I'm drowning right now. Like I remember sitting at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then my mom dives in and she saves me. And she dives in and saves my brother. Dives in, saves my other brother. Why?
So all 4 kids? She saved all
we
4
were
kids
all
in one?
dying. We were all dying.
Would you go down a slide?
We just went down a slide, but no one. The lifeguard. I remember the lifeguard. I remember looking at him. Just watch my mom go back in to save. No one tried to help save, but I almost died there.
Now were you guys all little? What?
They were tiny.
So nobody.
Yeah,
nobody knew how to swim.
No one knew how to swim.
But let's go down a slide into a pool.
Yeah, my mom. Great idea. But I think that it didn't look that deep or something. I don't know, but I thought, it was. Yeah.
So your mom's a hero.
I mean, she also tried to kill us, but I guess she is.
So she didn't hit her students, but
remember,
she hit
I don't
you.
know if you probably haven't seen this, but there's an episode of Powerpuff Girls.
Powderpuff Girls?
Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff?
Yeah, you don't know that show?
No.
Of course. Okay. I think that'd be weird if you did. So that's
yeah.
Weird. But there's an episode of Powerpuff Girls. There's a guy. I'm not going to explain this.
Was Ken Martin on that?
Ken Miller. And I know he's trolling me because Ken Miller is known by every comedian. So anyway, another time I almost died is I think I was like 25 or 26, and then I was chewing some gum. And I don't know if you ever do this, but when you chew gum, it's gone. The flavor's gone in like 60 seconds.
Right.
So I keep stuffing my mouth with gum. So I had so much gum in my mouth that I was like talking and I was like, wasn't paying attention. I started choking on the gum.
No
and
shit.
then some random dude at the gas station, like half my size, just yanked me up. Boom. Boom, and just like it flew out my mouth.
No shit.
Yeah, it made me. I was glad he saved my life, but it did not make me feel as masculine.
No.
I mean, he ragdolled me. It was,
Oh, he did?
I was just. It was. I didn't like this motion. I was like, oh man, and I was like, just let me die. Don't ever do that. I'm pregnant right now.
You know what the gangster move would have been?
Yeah.
Bend over, pick up the gum, put it back in your mouth, and then just walk away.
That's what I should have did, man. No. But yeah, I had a couple people save my life.
Wow.
Sorry for being super slow.
Did DJ ever do it?
DJ.
Ever save your life?
Who's DJ?
You ever heard that song?
Go
Witness
DJ.
Last night a DJ saved my life.
Oh, no.
Who is that artist? It was an 80s disco song. Ken knows it. There are 2 types of people in the world. Go.
There's kind people and lost people.
So I like that they're lost. They're not bad. They just haven't become good people yet. in your mind.
Yeah, I think everyone you didn't go through a villain stage in your life. I feel like
absolutely.
I think we all do that. So
Right.
I think we're all like, I don't care about being a good person.
Right.
And then you're like, I think I should be a good person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when I first got successful, like I had a year where I had a big fat network sitcom development deal. I was hosting a show on MTV.
Yeah. And
I kind of was a dick to some people.
Yeah.
I was like, I would show up to clubs and bump people.
Yeah.
And, you know, I look back and I cringe.
Yeah,
and now
I know.
whenever somebody blows
I
up,
know.
like people give Matt Rife shit. I'm like, first of all,
He's nice.
He's not a dick. He's
not.
extremely nice.
Super nice.
Generous guy, you know, and I think he's funny, and like there's just this reaction to people getting big, and even if he was a dick, I'd give him a pass because it throws your life.
It does.
Yeah, you've experienced it. You're blowing
not
up.
that level, but I've had that happen. But I always give people a pass.
Yeah.
Because we all have bad days anyway. So you might meet someone that have a bad day, and then you meet them again, they're great. That's happened before. And it's also, I think a lot of people, when they're upset with, people like Matt Rife or just people in general doing better than them, that's what it is. It's I've had a couple people that have like been super, rude to me coming up. They just super mean. They were jerks. And then they got something that peripheralated their career, and then they're nice to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll start doing better than me, and they're like, hey, how you doing? Like, they're just nice.
Right.
But when they're not doing, when they look at someone, they're like, I think I'm funnier than them, and they're doing better than me, they just kind of like, that's what people do. They're like, I'm funnier than Matt. I don't know why I'm not, so they just, they have that hate. But
Do you think that competitiveness can be a good thing in your career?
Yeah, I think competitiveness is great in anything.
Yeah.
I think in any field. I feel like, I think that like,
Who are you competitive with? Like, who do you look at and go, not in a bad way, just like for me, Jeff Ross and I came up at the same time, and he'd get stuff, and I'm like, how the fuck did he get Letterman? I should be getting Letterman. And now we're dear friends. We always have been, but he drove me, I think.
Yeah.
Who drives you?
I don't know, man. I think that everybody does.
It's Ken, right?
Ken Miller drives me. Yeah, he drives me crazy because I'm so much funnier than him. Why is he doing better than me? Man, I can't. Yeah,
it's weird. You just keep bringing him up. It's like you're obsessed.
What are you talking about?
Have you ever not finished a set on stage?
Yeah, absolutely.
What happened?
Well, I think I might have been bombing, or that happens a lot. That happened a lot in the beginning where I would bomb, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
That happened like a couple of days ago when I went to an open mic, and it was weird. So it was an open mic, and I was just there because I was doing Penn State, but my boy was there, so I was like, I'm gonna hang out with my boy. He's like, I'm gonna go to open mic. I was like, I'm going with you. So I stopped by, I get on stage, and there's a girl. She's like, oh my gosh, you the big booty dude. And I was like, I don't know, I've never heard that, but I appreciate that. I was hoping you recognized me from my special or something, but she's like, you the big booty, you the dude with the booty, right? And I'm like, I guess so. It's real.
You have no idea what she's talking about.
I do know what she's talking about.
Oh, okay.
I have a couple of jokes about this thing I got on me, but I just never heard that happen.
Okay. Yeah.
She could have said, you're the comedian.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So you walked off?
No, I did my set, but then people started taking videos and pictures of me, and then there was this woman. She kind of like, it was a light that flashed, and I was like, you don't need to flash, like there's plenty of lights. And then this dude was like, no, that means get off stage. And I was like, okay. He's like, no, you got a minute. And I was like, nah, man, I don't need to be here. And I got off stage, and then he like came back because I guess some people talked to him like, hey, you just kicked Preacher off stage, and he was trying to get me back on stage.
Did he work there?
He was the host.
Oh.
He was the host, and he was like, come back, go do some more time. He's like, sorry, that was just a news spot. I was like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to do an open mic. I was just doing it because I thought it'd be fun.
Right.
Which it was fun. It was all right.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Yeah, but those college shows, man, you have to do the hour. You have to stay clean.
Yeah.
You have to do material that somehow is relatable to 18, 19-year-old kids. Oh, is that what you do?
Well, when I went on stage, there was an opener for me, and she was about 60.
Yeah.
She was 60 years old, and I don't know how she did. I didn't watch her set, but my mom went up after and performed. She did 15 minutes. She did good.
No.
Yeah, my mom. Yeah,
Whoa.
my mom performs. She opens for me. And so I went up and I did an hour, but yeah, I was just roasting them the whole time because they kept yelling at me. Because someone I don't know some people just Matt Rife. He messed it up for everybody,
right.
bro. They keep yelling. I mean, it's not Matt, but he's the biggest.
No, there's a lot of comics that are loading up crowd work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, I'm doing it. So I mean, but people see it and they're like, okay, I'm just gonna yell out during the show. So people just yelling out during comedy shows.
Right.
So they just yelled at me the whole time.
Yeah.
And I just roasted them.
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, final question, and then we're going to let you get to the Tom Papa interview.
Awesome.
What is the hackiest bit you've ever done?
Okay. Which one? What is the hackiest bit I've ever done? Okay. Oh, yeah, I got one. So this was pretty, okay, so I said I came across a racist vending machine. Because I went up to the vending machine, I put $1 in to get a soda, and they took my money.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe it's messed up. I put another $1 in, and it took my money again. And I was like, oh, this machine's so stupid. And then I left, and as I walked away, some white dude goes up, puts $1 in, 3 soda come out. I'm like, oh, man. So I was mad, and I punched the machine, and a drink came out, but it wasn't a soda. It was a cup of Kool-Aid. I was like, what? Man, why does this taste like chicken? It was so stupid. Why is this Kool-Aid taste like chicken?
You were just taking all the stereotypes and going, how do I jam them into one punchline?
I feel refreshed like I have bad credit.
Boy, I hope I don't fall in this cup. I can't swim.
I can't swim.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. That's good. Thanks for your honesty.
I got a couple more on my new special. So
the new special is called My Name is Preacher. It's on YouTube. If you want to see the old special, what's the old one called?
Get to Know Me. It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay, check that out. And I can't say enough good stuff about it. If you have never heard of Preacher Lawson, you're gonna become a lifetime fan. I think you're really great, and thank you for being here.
My man, thank you so much.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Take care.
All right.